Have a seat.
Thank
Jayant Singh Rathore.
Yes,
You are from Bikaner
yes,
and you stay in a place called Karni Nagar
yes,
near Lalgarh Palace.
yes.
It sounds so feudal,
So, sir, actually, this colony,
near a palace. And Karni Singh was the
yes,
ruler
yes,
of Bikaner.
yes, sir. It is named after Maharaja Karni Singh.
Karni Singh.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, tell us something about Bikaner, why it is famous.
So, sir, Bikaner is primarily famous for its snacks. So, famous for Bikaneri Bhujia. It is predominantly famous for that. And earlier, it was a princely state, and it was the second largest princely state in Rajasthan after Jodhpur area-wise. And sir, it is also famous for Junagadh Fort, which is one of the few forts that is built on land. Because normally we see forts are built on hills. And sir, International Camel Festival is also one of the famous festivals that is being uh, conducted in Bikaner. So sir, these are some of the famous things.
And it's now a big railway junction, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
Bikaner.
Yes, sir. So Lalgarh railway junction,
Hmm.
it is famous for the maintenance of various railway station, railway. We call it vagons. So it is famous for that.
Okay. Your father is in government service. He is legal metrology officer.
Yes,
Can you explain what is legal metrology officer?
yes. So, sir, this legal metrology, it is related to the weight and measurement department.
Okay.
So what they do is they do the calibration of various petrol pumps and
Mhm.
various dharam kantas, which
Mhm.
measures the weight of various trucks and load. So it
There are
is
a lot of hanky pankies going on in these places.
yes, sir. So
Petrol
predominantly
pumps also are manipulated thermometers and dharm kantas also there's
yes, sir.
a
So
lot of
his
manipulation.
yes, sir. So his primary duty is to see that this calibration is done right.
Okay. Alright, you did quite well in your 10th and 12th.
Yes,
What happened in BITS planning? The score was not up to the mark.
yes, sir. Sir,
It's a prestigious institution.
yes, sir. I agree with you that my score during my engineering
Hmm.
is on an average side. Sir, some of the reasons are that, sir, during my second year of my college, I started involving in various co-curricular activities. For example, sports was there and conducting various events in cultural fest. So, due to that, sir, this may have resulted in my low scores in engineering. Sir.
See, extracurricular activity is good, but
Yes.
not at the cost of your studies. Isn't it?
Yes, sir, I agree with you, but sir, I also, the person who I am today, or my personality development is also due to the experience that I gained in these various extracurricular activities.
Okay.
Yes,
You are interested in tennis.
yes.
Can you tell us who are referred as ABC of tennis?
So, like player wise,
Yeah, it refers to three players. They are called the ABC of tennis. Is history?
yes, sir. Sir, I'm not very sure, but sir, I think A is for Andre Agassi, B is for Boris Baker, and I'm not very sure of the C. Sir.
No, you are not correct. Very good. Surprisingly, A stands for Amritraj brothers.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And B not for Boris Becker, it's for John Borg.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Tell us, tomorrow you are in Rajasthan. How will you, what and how you will promote in Rajasthan?
So, sir, first would be because Rajasthan has a huge tourist potential. So, like Kerala conducted its own program known as God's own country. So, sir, on that lines, we can also give a tagline for the Rajasthan as well. So far,
Incredible Rajasthan we already have for years.
yes, thank you, sir. So, sir, I think sir, tourism can be promoted. So, sir, for example, the Bikaner, which is the western part of Rajasthan, it has a great potential, but it does not have that much tourist arrival. So sir, that can be promoted. Sir, secondly, southeastern Rajasthan, which predominantly is a tribal inhabited area, which consists of tribes like Bhils. So they have various practices that can also be promoted, sir. And sir, Rajasthan has a huge potential in solar and wind energy. So we can also harness it because we have various solar plants in the Jaisalmer region and also wind energy in Jaisalmer region. So sir, these can be also harnessed. And sir, thirdly, Rajasthan also is in between the Delhi Mumbai Expressway or the Delhi Mumbai Economic Corridor, which is currently under going on. So that can also be beneficial for Rajasthan, sir.
What about the minerals?
Yes, sir. So sir, Rajasthan produces various minerals. So, sir, for example, Khetri mines, they are famous for this copper production. And, sir, also it is one of the largest producer of potash as well. So, sir, these can also be, sir, very well harnessed as well. Sir.
And there is a big oil refinery
Yes,
also coming up,
sir, in the Badmer region. Sir.
Barmer region.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is this cancer train?
Yes, sir. So, sir, this is a special train which is run between Bikaner and Punjab. So, sir, various farmers of Punjab, due to this increased radioactivity, due to overuse of water, they come to the Bikaner to treat for their cancer. So, Bikaner has a super specialty cancer hospital by the name of Haldiram. So, they come to Bikaner for that.
Okay.
What are the salient features of the new education policy? Do you see a better output in the sense that the new education policy will create a different kind of mindset for the upcoming students?
Yes, sir, ma'am, I do agree with you because it has various features which will, in a way, revolutionize the present education sector in India. So, sir, ma'am, for example, it has a provision of a curriculum of 5+3+3+4 in the schooling system, basically primary and secondary education. And ma'am, secondly, it also involves one vocational training for the students of the class for 5 and above. So, ma'am, that will in a way impart practical education to all the students and give them an exposure which will ultimately develop creativity in them. So, ma'am, also that would be helpful for them. And for higher studies as well, the government is establishing various new authorities. So, ma'am, for example, HEFA is there to finance these higher education institutions as well. So, ma'am, these are some of the features which I can recall of.
Or now, vis-a-vis girl child, this, in spite of our best efforts, so much of dropouts do happen. And I'm concerned about Rajasthan,
Yes.
where there is a strong disparity between the girl child and the male child.
Yes.
How do we cope up with that? What is how can we handle that in the new education system?
So, ma'am, there are several reasons for it. So, ma'am, first would be the child marriage, which is very much prevalent in the rural parts of Rajasthan. And second one would be, ma'am, lack of proper toilet facilities for girls in the schools as well.
Hold on. Now, with the Prime Minister's new scheme,
Yes.
last 6 years, so many toilets have been made.
Yes.
And second, also Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. There are so many other schemes. There is also incentive for the girl child, Sukanya, bank schemes,
Yes.
and so many other things. But still, nothing, no concrete change, no tangible change is happening. If you are posted as an officer there in a rural area, and there's so much of pressure from the societal pressure is there.
Yes.
How would you stop child marriages? How would you stop dropouts? These are the two concerns.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, for child marriages, I studied about one of the model which is going on in the Nagaur area of Rajasthan. So, what was done there that the district magistrate he made several teams or several volunteers in each of the villages. So, what their duty was first to improve awareness against the child marriages in those villages, and also provide intelligence information to the administration. So, ma'am, for example, if a family is conducted any child marriage event, and if a person is giving this information to the administration, then that person will also be awarded, and the administration can take action on it. So ma'am, on these lines we can, I would also,
If it is successful, why it is not replicated in other districts?
ma'am, actually it is new ma'am, it is by the Athar Ahmed sir, he is a IS officer of batch 2016. So it is new, and ma'am, I think the Rajasthan government or all over the India, it can be replicated.
Right.
Yes.
What is the male and female ratio in Rajasthan?
So ma'am, in rural areas, it is around 934 to 1000, and in urban areas, it is around 928 to 1000.
Why lesser in urban area?
So ma'am, some of the reason is that ma'am, in urban areas, they have more access to this ultrasound techniques, and secondly ma'am, also that ma'am, they have also good access to the hospitals as well to carry out illegal abortion. So ma'am, these can be the reasons.
What can be done about it?
It is illegal, no?
Yes,
Find out
totally
the sex
illegal.
of the child.
Yes,
Then?
yes, sir. So, sir, first would be to properly implement the PNDT Act, which is going on, and heavy fine can be imposed on all the
Labs.
private labs which are
Yes.
going on. So, this can be done for that.
Now tell me something about the new budget.
Yes, ma'am.
Any special feature?
So, ma'am, one of the special features is that the health expenditure, it has been increased by around 130%. And the government is saying that it will increase it to 2.5% of GDP by 2025, and 34,000 crore rupees have been set aside for the COVID-19 vaccine as well. And ma'am, also it has given the focus on Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. So the government is promoting through a scheme called One District One Product to promote the food processing industries in various districts, and especially northeast area. So these are some of the highlights.
What is your take on this Kisan rally and the protest which is happening? Has it affected Rajasthan also?
Yes, ma'am, it has affected, ma'am. I think, ma'am, that the farm laws in the longer run are beneficial for the farmers because it has huge many provisions that will ultimately promote and increase the farmers' income as well. And ma'am, I think there is some kind of misinformation that is among the farmers, and some of the vested groups also, they are trying to divert this issue as well. So ma'am, I think now it becomes the responsibility of the government to properly make aware of these farmers of various
Oh, the
provisions.
government has been calling them for meetings very often, and they say, repeal this. We don't want this.
11
Whether
meetings
the
are
parliament
already
will, they will supersede the parliament and say that is law hi mat banao. They cannot dictate this.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I agree with you ma'am, on this. And ma'am, I think that some of the groups of the farmers also, after this 11th round of meeting, also they are like on a.
It is the patience of the government that 11 round of meetings and so much nuisance has been created, and still, it is democracy. That's why this is happening.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, I agree with you on this.
If you was asked to handle this, what will you do?
Ma'am, I think that, ma'am, what we can do is that.
More meetings.
Sorry, ma'am.
More meetings.
Ma'am, more meetings, ma'am. What we can do is, ma'am.
If somebody is hell bent that we will not let this act
Yeah.
happen, then more meetings will not help. I don't think so.
But ma'am, I think the only way out would be the making awareness only, because we are also a democracy.
They are aware of everything and still they are protesting. Then,
Ma'am, I think that some of the groups in the farmers only, they are supporting the move of the government that they are holding various needs. What I'm saying is that, ma'am, there are also minority groups also who have vested interest or foreign influence also to jeopardize the local administration as well.
it is prolonging too long. So, I don't see any solution to it in the near future. So, what will be your take? Tell me some out of box solution.
Ma'am, I think that only if we can call all the leaders of the farmers, and
So many times it has been done. Anyway,
yes,
that's it.
Jayant, you are fond of traveling.
yes.
So where have you traveled and country? Which parts have already traveled?
So, sir, I have traveled, especially Himachal Pradesh. So, the area of Lahaul and Spiti I have traveled, and so the area near the Kullu Manali Valley and the Kasol region, Malana village. And sir, I have also visited Tamil Nadu. So, I was doing a 2-month internship there in Redipalayam Ultratech Cement Power Plant in Ariyarur district.
Okay.
And sir, I've also visited the Munnar region of Kerala.
Mhm.
And then sir, I've also visited Goa.
Okay. The concept of bullet train in our country,
Yes.
how good it is for or feasible it is for us.
So the government is currently building this bullet train between Ahmedabad and Mumbai with the help of Japan. So I believe that it would ultimately lead to the development of the region. First, in the infrastructure ways, and so secondly, it would also decrease the time travel between both the cities. So I think it. Many people are saying that it may result in high spending of the government, but I think sir that would ultimately increase the overall economic development of the region.
Okay. And do you know what is a hyperloop?
Yes, sir. So, sir, in Hyperloop, what we does is there is a long tube in which we run a pod in it, and it employs the technique of levitation. So, through magnetic field, we create a levitation, and this pod runs at a speed of around 1,000 km/h. And due to the vacuum, the air friction is very less in the tube, so it results into a higher speed in the tube, sir.
Okay. What do you think of decision of government to shift Parliament building and North and South Block to the other place? Are you aware?
Sir, I am aware of the fact that government is building a
I
new.
mean, do you think it is a good decision and what necessitated it? Why it is necessary to shift?
Sir, I think it is a pragmatic decision. Sir, because sir, first the present Parliament building, it is around 100 years old, and sir, in the lieu of the present conditions and the present environment, it is necessary to build a new Parliament building. Secondly, sir, the number of parliamentarians would be also increasing in the future. So the new parliamentary building that would also result in giving space to them. And sir, thirdly, sir, the government is also building new secretariats. So currently, it takes various buildings on lease, and sir, it ultimately does not have that much of infrastructure that is needed. So that would also help in that.
You mentioned bhujia,
Yes.
Bikaner bhujia. What is an important ingredient of Bikaner bhujia that makes it so popular?
Yes, sir. So, sir, the main ingredient is that, sir, it has moat dal, which is mixed in the chana dal, and sir, various spices are also mixed in it. And sir, the main reason why it is so popular is, sir, due to the water also of the Bikaner also plays a major factor in it.
Have you heard of Fuller's Earth? A kind of I don't know what we call it in Hindi. Fuller's Earth it is called.
Sir, multani mitti.
Multani mitti mein.
Yes, sir. Some of the people say, I'm not very sure of it, but sir, many people say that it is sprinkled on these bhujia, sir.
But why water is so good at that particular region? For making bhujia saying is good.
Sir, climate is also a very important factor, sir. So, sir, many industries, what they tried is that they also transported the moat and chana dal from Bikaner to Delhi, and water also they transported. But sir,
Why Bikaner is lagging behind in road structure, infrastructure in comparison to other states or cities in the Rajasthan? Connectivity as per the NH is not that good in Bikaner. I don't know at the present situation, but sometime back I visited.
yes.
It's not up to the mark.
So, sir, first reason would be that, sir, it is a border state and it is in the westernmost part of the Rajasthan, and it is also present in the desert. So that can be the one reason.
So, but if you see Jaisalmer, it is very well connected. If you see Jodhpur, it is very well connected.
So I think, sir, the present government schemes. So, sir, for example, the government is building this Bharatmala road from the Ganganagar to Sanchor in Gujarat. So, sir, they are building a 6-lane highway in it, sir. At present, sir.
Lastly, what do you have to say about the stand Karni Sena took in terms of a particular Bollywood movie?
Yes, sir.
It was a good move.
Sir, I won't support this, sir, because there were some of the protests. Initially, they called that it is a peaceful protest, but sir, later it turned out very violent in it. Yes, everyone has their right to protest in a democracy and express their concerns about various things. But sir, the way they did was, I think, not right, sir.
But also, you cannot play with the history. You cannot also play with the sentiments of the people if it is related to their religion. or their beliefs.
Yes, sir, I do agree with you, sir, because
So you
especially.
are agreeing on one thing and you are also agreeing on the
No,
other
sir.
point.
Sir, on the protest, sir, I am disagreeing, sir, that the protests were very violent, sir. So they also threw stones in Gurgaon region. So, sir, I am saying that that is not good.
But do you agree the protest should happen?
Sir, I think that, sir, Bollywood movies especially, they have a very huge role in influencing the mindset of our people.
So in the
So,
name of freedom, you can do anything in this country.
sir, I think
You
it,
can say anything, you can shoot anything, you can do anything, and then you can.
sir, I think with Article 19 we have freedom of speech and expression, but it also gives reasonable restriction. So, sir, I think it becomes the duty of the censorship board of our country to correctly
Why
judge.
we object on protest or some opposition in JNUs and other and student activities. There we oppose.
Sir, I think that it is very uniform to all of you, to all the people. I don't think that government discards any of the other groups. But sir, I believe that it becomes the responsibility of the certification board, the censorship board, if they think that the movie would have a bad impact on the society, then they may take a decision according to it.
Thank you very much.